It's been a year since we caught up with our next guest, and when we sat down for a chat, he was walking us through his cancer journey. It's been a year since that conversation. Where's Kevin Mwachiro at now? Let's live out loud with him next. Hello and welcome to Sheila Lives Out Loud. My name is Sheila Moniga. Thank you so much for joining us for yet another episode. I hope you find motivation, inspiration, and another reason to believe in the beauty of life. As always, remember to click subscribe to this channel and share if you see something that you know somebody needs to see. And we are living out loud with Kevin Mwachiro. Kevin!
Hey, Sasa.
Fiti sana. Okay, that one was a strange one.
What, that's Sasa?
Yes. The last time someone said Sasa to me, I thought to myself, okay.
Hey, Mambo.
Yes,
that might be better. Yeah.
Let's get our swag
so,
on.
Pole. Not quite that young yet.
But you'll always be young in
Asante,
my books,
Sheila.
Kevin. It's been a year since we last spoke, and I'm so happy to be here, one of my favorite places in the world, to speak with you and catch up with you on what's been going on.
Asante, thank you for having me back again. And this is also one of my favorite spaces in Nairobi. Love this space.
Look, the leaf just fell down the siphon cube.
Yeah, you know, we used to make propellers with that when we were kids.
I know there are a lot of things we used to do when we were kids. But Kevin, last year, we talked about the journey that you were on, having gone for cancer treatment in India, being diagnosed with cancer,
which was before the treatment, yeah.
Which of course was before the treatment. I'm just moving, 15 steps back and back and back. But let's just go back to the beginning. For anybody who's catching up with this episode and doesn't really understand why we're sitting down here and having this conversation, just give us a little bit of the backstory in 140 characters or less, and then we move forward.
So it's actually very interesting that we're here and doing this interview right now because it's almost 2 years since I got diagnosed with cancer. Got diagnosed with cancer, a blood cancer called multiple myeloma on October 28th. This time 2 years ago, I was already in hospital. I'd gone into hospital because my doctor had taken some x-rays at previous back problems, and I'd gone for a follow-up, and he found some growths, tumors, and he used the word I won't forget, lesions. And tests, it moved. I was negative for spinal TB, and moving on, they discovered that it was multiple myeloma. So this was October 2015, went through chemotherapy for 6 months. June 2016, went to India for a stem cell transplant. Was in India for 7 weeks. That's where I lost my hair and everything. Grateful, touch wood, that all's going well following that. I'm cautious about remission, and maybe I should just claim it, Been in remission, and I'm on what they call maintenance treatment, which means I take a daily tablet for 21 days, and then I get a week off, and then I repeat the cycle, and I have to do this for the rest of my life.
Right.
And I also get a monthly shot for calcium, and I've been doing that since. Actually, today, I actually had my monthly shot of calcium. So basically, that's what it is. I am well. I am well. At times, when people ask me how you doing, I'm like, I'm sour.
If I look at all our friends, because we have a lot of mutual friends, and I think about how passionate you are about health and fitness and about, just living life beautifully and fully, you embody that. You run marathons and
I used to.
Well, you used to, but now you're back to running again.
Yes, I actually. It's a good thing we're having this interview today. I did my longest distance in a long time. I did 6.71 kilometers.
No way!
And it felt so good. Just seeing me, I was walking outside my gate going, yes, slapping myself and high-fiving myself. I think people thought I was crazy. And I think the fact that I can even do that distance, I know it's humbling to move from running my farthest distance of 60
Yeah,
60,
you used to do
63
crazy things like that.
kilometers to just, even just doing the 6, you know,
It's an
may say
achievement.
under 7 kilometers.
Yeah.
It's an achievement, and I'm utterly grateful for that.
I like that we're sitting down here talking to each other, because this is the beginning of demystifying cancer, that there is life.
Yeah, I think for me, I would like to say cancer is the beginning. Cancer is a beginning, is a new beginning. It offers new beginnings. I know my life will never be the same again, you know, ever. And every time I hit October, and I know every time I will hit October, I will remember. You know, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It goes home. February, on World Cancer Day, it goes home, you know. I have learned a lot. I have grown a lot, you know. I tell people cancer has given me opportunity and also humility, a lot of humility. And I have so many lessons from that. Cancer, it's the beginning. On the way here, I got a message from someone who, she says, you know, she's battled with depression. And I was fortunate that I had support to help me go through this. And I think, and I believe, being an athlete and just doing a lot of endurance sport, my mindset, depression didn't even factor in. Of course, I'm not saying it was smooth sailing.
No,
there were
there were
bad
dark
days.
days
Yeah, totally. But the focus and the drive, even that for myself, has surprised me, kabisa. Kabisa. I hate to say, I hate warrior. When people go warrior, and I tell them, you give that warrior to someone who cares, because I just don't. And I think that is one of, even now, telling a friend's going through a difficult time, and I just can't say pole, especially to fellow cancer fighters or people who are battling chronic illness. I can't say pole. And I didn't like it even when people told me pole. What does pole do?
Yeah.
And you know, I might come across as harsh or insensitive, but at that point in time, I don't want to hear pole. For me, when I got diagnosed, it was that whole thing where I battled with the language of cancer and how people, I used to the language of cancer and the language of sickness. And sometimes I don't want to hear pole. Sometimes just say nothing. Oh, and I'm learning, I learned this the other day, where even when I see people who are going through difficult things, I'm like, how are you doing today?
Yeah.
And I think that is important. Let's just deal with how you're doing today. I've had lots of friends who've lost loved ones this year, and I learned from that. It's not how you're doing, it's how you're doing today. Because Jana could have been an excellent day, today has been a bad day, tomorrow could be it's just, let's just deal with the now. Moment by moment, kabisa. And let me see how I can support you with that moment. And even if you're saying, yesterday was good, but today has sucked. Sawa. Tell people early diagnosis, get treated, Knowledge is power. And I still get surprised.
Yeah.
I still get surprised. But knowledge is power. It's that. I have booklets on how to live with myeloma. And they're there, so they get dust. So I just go and read, and I still get surprised. Because sometimes, there's a pain here. I'm like, what is it?
It's back.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm constantly checking myself. I'm not stuck there, but I figured, and sometimes I'm like, just go check and see.
And see what's going on.
And learn about this disease that I have to live with.
Right.
Not just for my sake, but also for the
people in your life.
Yeah, but if I didn't do that, I take away the power from it.
Right.
The power that it has for me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because anything you don't understand will make you be afraid.
Absolutely.
Which means you've given your power to it.
Totally. So
and it frightens you.
Yeah, so, even those ones, the early days, I would I have a pain, I'm calling the doctor, it's paining. Oh, yeah, it's my nail, or something. I was really sensitive to where the pains were, but... Yeah. And then over time, it's and then I read about living with myeloma, there will be pain. There, and there are days it comes, you're like, bus, sour. And then I don't dash to take painkillers. I sort of be in that moment and say, okay, if this goes on for longer than usual, basi, I'll take painkillers. Yeah. And sometimes you're like, okay, you're here, sour. You be here for as long as you, you be here, but go quickly. You know, it's like, be here, but go
This
quickly.
is the moment, yes.
If you're not going to go quickly,
moment, yes. Have
so,
your moment because you're moving. But please know you're moving. You're not
I
here
would
forever.
like you to move.
Yes.
It's not your move. I would like you to move. You know, so it is that. It's when I get tingling sensations. I was scared, and you're constantly, is it? Because multiple myeloma has no cure, but you can live with it. You can manage it. But it's that whole thing, you're uber sensitive to your body. And not just for me, but for anyone who's living with a chronic condition or even with cancer, you are so chonjo with your body. You know, and you ask me how it's been. I've learned to develop a new relationship with my body. You know, if it says me, I'm not waking up like sour, you know. And that time's sort of like, but I really want to. And because I'm back exercising, and there are days you just don't want to. And that days I'm like, dude, just. You know, and I remember I talk to my body. I struck a deal with my body saying, look after me and I will look after you. So I know we are in this together.
That is such a powerful moment for me. Look after me and I'll look after you.
Because basically, Sheila, if I hadn't looked after myself, someone asked me the other day how long I'd been exercising, and I thought it was around 2003, 2004.
Yeah.
But from as early as 2002 when I was in Uganda, I remember waking up early to go run. There was a bit of a lull in 2003, but I still exercised. And then I picked it up in 2003, 2004, and I haven't stopped. And I've blogged this, and I say I was training for a race that I didn't know I was going to run. No. And if it wasn't the fact that I put into this body, and people, I remember people saying if Kevo can get cancer and he's uber fit, nini, what about us? I'm like, hello, you can't look at life that way. I looked after my body, and my body looked after me, and I am a strong believer in that. My body looked after me. If I didn't, I strongly believe it would have been so different. It would have been so different. And I'm still there. I mean, to the point that I still want to run ultra marathons. I still want to do endurance sports. I want to run long distances. Or even now, I figure I want to cycle far. But it's me. Kevo wants that. But I sort of have to be sensitive to my body.
To what Kevo's body needs.
And I remember one time, I remember I want to do a marathon, and my target is to go back to distance running in 2019, and that is a change. And I told my body. So I remember one morning I was going for a workout, I told the body, so me, I'm thinking, 2019, we can be back on the road doing distance running. And I didn't expect an answer then. I said, you just dwell with that for the moment, and then you decide. Yeah. But me, I know, and I've asked you. I haven't made an please give me 2019. And I think it's that whole thing where you're like, sour. I mean, I did my first fight. When I did a 5K, and there was not one ache. Not one ache. I started working out really in January again, a lot more seriously. I was a little bit reckless, let me be honest, in the sense that I just started going out at it. I was starting doing sprints up a hill, and I'm like, Kevo, Ebu, stop. And then I remember when I went for a review with my doctor, and he's like, dude, you're forgetting your body. My body hasn't had this thing from October 28, 2015. We don't know how long it had been there. So my body had gone through shock. When the doctor tells me, be careful with your bones, you know? You know, your bones have been compromised. And it's stuff like that I have to remember.
Yeah.
And also have to be sensitive. And
that, yes, while you're pushing, be sensitive. Be
sensitive. And because my doctor said they can't stop me, they know exercise is good. And for anyone who's struggling and they can exercise. Exercise is good for my bones. I discovered the other day, it's like it helps. My doctor told me, but I think I'd forgotten. So when I went to read it again, it's like it makes your muscle structure stronger. I'm like, so I've been cautious about lifting weights. So at least now I pause because
It's like
I don't want to
starting
live.
afresh.
It's starting afresh, and the whole starting afresh is like lifting a dumbbell of 2 kgs. I'm like,
I know
guy,
exactly what you mean,
I
Kevin.
have to.
I am in that too, because there are days, because of my back surgery as well, and the days when you really just can't do it. I don't want to. But then you remember that if your body's gonna take care of you, you've got to take care of it. And sometimes taking care of your body means you go back to that 2 kg weight, and you will just go through the motions with
Totally.
it.
You know, it's like lifting a spoon. You're like, yeah, okay. But that is what I've learned, especially the fact that I'm exercising again now.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's like saying, forget everything.
Like, unlearning.
And
It's unlearning
learning,
everything you
and
ever knew
learning.
about fitness.
Yeah.
And you're on ground zero again and starting from scratch.
And take me through that. And so it's still hard.
Yeah.
I think because I realize I'm really driven.
Yeah.
I'm really driven.
The nature of relationships now. What matters most? What has changed?
My relationships, I would say, have become fuller. I don't think I've lost any friends. I've made more friends. I've reconnected with people whom I worked with 20 years plus. And they showed up. And they showed up for me. You know, so that is, you make me cry so often.
Oh, Kevin, no.
No, but, and I'm grateful for that. I think, during the Harambe, I had friends whom I worked with after university from KRA. I worked with KRA. Some people are like, you did what? I worked with KRA. Guys from back then showed up. Old family friends came out of the woodwork. Guys from uni had groups together. People just showed up.
There's a lot of love for you, Kevin.
And I'm totally, totally grateful. So that fullness, I appreciate. And the thing is, it's not that we've become best buddies now for life. Oh, no. I'd be naive to actually think that. At that point in time, they were there, and I think because they felt that they needed to be there, and I appreciate the fact that they were there for me and for my family. And so that's what I say. Yes, they have changed, but I can say they've become fuller.
They mean so much more now.
And exactly.
I want to talk about the future, because they always say when you go through something as huge as cancer, the way you look at the future now and the way you looked at it then, there's a completely, totally different shift.
Totally.
And I'd like to know what's changed in your long term. When you think the future now, what comes to mind?
I just want to do everything. And I do everything at almost like nothing. And anyone who's gone through this journey or is on this journey figures, cancer almost makes you feel you're unstoppable. Because like, I'm going to do this. And it gives you, I think once you're through that process, so as you go on it and you get energy and you get well, you're like, I can do this. I've gone through, my friend Felix calls it the beast. The beast has fallen. And when he got his all clear, he also had cancer. He said, the beast has fallen. And you figured, I can do this. I quit my job, not because it was stressful, and I realized I just need to manage stress in my life because, my body feels the stress.
Yeah.
I get physically pain when I'm under pressure. That never happened before, so I have to
You're now picking up on your body's cues.
Totally.
You
and it gives me,
you
sometimes,
better.
huge cues like, okay, nimesikia,
We're going home now.
We're going home now, So I've had to make decisions like that. And even when it does come, there's one time I was really working, I had a deadline, and I walked in and I was working in a shared space. I'm like, that day I said, today, I'm sorry, my guy, it's going to be a 12-hour day. And it is psychological, but at least I've prepared.
And acknowledge that you're tired.
Yeah, but it's going to be, I just need you to
hold on. Just hold on.
Longer. It's going to be a 12-hour day. Yeah. And not surprise it and like, my guy, what is this? And then you're like,
ignoring me.
You're ignoring me. I'm like, it's a 12-hour day. So I remember the pain came in, the fatigue. I started feeling fatigued, kidogo, and then it went. I thought that it's just now normal exhaustion that you're going through.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm embarking on just trying to even grow in my writing career. The passion for journalism has come back. I'm embracing my creative side a lot more now. And I'm embracing a lot more me now. I've gone through a lot of counseling and that I'm learning to appreciate me. I'm learning so many things about myself. The future is about me being kind to myself, you know, and trusting myself a lot more and believing in myself a lot more.
Kevin, thank you so much for having this conversation with us. Final thoughts. Can you hear the thunder?
I can hear the thunder.
It's the thunder?
It's the thunder.
Final thoughts as we close and run away from the rain.
Oh, man, thank you for the rain. Because once it rains, it shines. I mean, even appreciation of the elements. When I was in India, I saw people dance in the rain, kids were dancing in the rain. I'm like, I don't have to be scared of rain anymore. It was that I remember, I don't have to. And I'm like, thank you for the rain. It can inconvenience, but heck, man, look at this space. If it didn't rain, this space would not be as green as it is. And being in this space is living. Is life.
And this is life, and I love that the thunder showed up today.
Thank you for the rain. Thank you for the sun. Thank you for
everything.
My final thought is thank you. Thank you for everything.
It's gratitude.
Absolutely.
Ask Kevin what the past year has been about. It's been gratitude.
Absolutely.
It's been being thankful. I hope you've learned a lesson. I know I have learned a lot. Thank you so much for catching up with us on this episode of Sheila Lives Out Loud. Remember to click subscribe and hit notifications so you never miss an episode of the show. We sign out and remind you to be thankful and to live out loud in all ways. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Kevin.